Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Hindu Philosophy for Dummies, a ready reference for the rest of us. In our last video, we saw the question of how many atmas are there. And using the example of thought space and total space, we saw the concept in Vedanta of one consciousness, one atma. Now, in today's video, we're going to be looking at another question. Does atma or the individual consciousness merge with total consciousness, God, Ishvara, Bhagavan? We're going to be using the same example of pot space and total space to understand this concept. So let's get right into it. Let me ask you a question. Have you heard any spiritual teacher or philosopher say, one day the Atma will merge with the Lord? You've probably seen in the serials, in the Mahabharata serial or the Ramayana serials or any of these devotional serials where they show, a small little spark of light going up and merging with the Lord. Do you think that actually happens, that the consciousness moves from out of the body and goes into the Lord? Does consciousness, does Atma travel from one location to another? Well, based on our example that we are using to understand the nature of Atma, Atma is like space. Space is everywhere. Something which is all-pervading cannot travel because it is already everywhere. So then what is traveling? Let's take the example and let's dive into this a little bit further. If I were to break this pot, would you say that the space inside the pot, after I break this pot, merges with the space outside the pot, the total space? Would you say that suddenly, after breaking the pot, the space inside the pot space, is now connected unconditionally with the space outside the pot? Is there really a merging happening? No, right? The space inside the pot was always connected with the space outside. The pot created no true division, no true limitation for space. In the very same way, when you hear statements like, the Atma will merge with the Lord, you should think about this. Will pot space merge with total space? Can pot space ever be separate from total space? So what is this merging? What is this merging with the Lord, with God, with the reality, with the cosmic being? The merging is only an understanding. What is that understanding? The understanding that pot space was never separate, divided from total space. In the same manner, Atma, who thinks itself to be individual consciousness, has to understand that I was never this conditioned, limited consciousness. I was ever infinite consciousness, erroneously taking myself to be limited, finite, small consciousness. This is called liberation. This is called moksha. This is called nirvana. Understanding. Don't think of some fanciful idea that one day the individual light of consciousness will merge with some higher reality above. If you want to know more about these such ideas, and you want to break all of these wrong notions, mystical ideas about Hindu philosophy, then you know what you have to do. Share this video with others, whomsoever may have these wrong conceptions about moksha, liberation, atma, traveling from one world to the other. Let's break the mysticism here at Just Curious. So look out for videos coming up next. Stay tuned for greater and more in-depth videos in this series, Hindu Philosophy for Dummies, a ready reference for the rest of us. Like this video, subscribe if you want to see more, share this video with those who may be interested. Until next time, stay curious.